I've got a skill set, and that's really how I've been making the majority of my living since I left the corporate world behind. So trading is an important skill set, and it's one that's enabled me to, pay the rent, put 3 kids through private school, and do all of those sorts of things. Really, the business side of things, the more entrepreneurial side of things, it's part of my mission rather than something that
was
I need to do to put food on the table. Yeah, I reached this point in my career where I'd spent 2.5 decades in the corporate world, helping people who were already wealthy beyond their wildest dreams. And it was more a question of, what is my marginal contribution to society? And when I analysed that, I didn't really feel very good about it. And I recognised there was a real gap in the market for people who are not already extremely wealthy. The investment products available to them tend to be not that good. They tend to be expensive. And there are a whole bunch of myths and outright lies that get told to the general public. And so I guess my vision, if you want to call it that, was to create a group of people who become more creative, more entrepreneurial, happier, all because I've managed to help them reduce the burden of financial stress.
And I think a big thing about that is that you've shown over the last 2 decades that you understood markets, you understood people's desires and where the cracks were. And that's a big thing, I think, because you came at it with a lot of experience. But a lot of people may not originally, or they may have an idea or think okay, this segment of the market is correct. But you really lived and breathed it for so many years, and you obviously got a lot of enjoyment from it. But then you kind of had that introspective look saying, okay, maybe I could be doing more to society.
I mean, the thing is in trading, you're going to lose, the best traders in the world will lose 30% of their trades, and that sort of, I guess, mistake ratio in real life probably would be unacceptable. You know what I mean? But if you can get over that and sort of just let the ego go a little bit and not be afraid of making a mistake. A lot of people think they're going to look silly if they make a mistake. But really and truly, if you've taken action and you've made a course correction, don't even call it a mistake. You're actually going to win people's respect.
I think
it's the action takers in the world that make things happen. Sorry, go on.
Trading is the perfect example there, you said, because, after you make the mistake, you need to get back on the horse and do it again.
Yeah,
and if
absolutely.
If you're worried and you're scared and you're thinking that, oh God, you've lost your confidence, it's the worst position to be in when there's literally money on the line, so you have to completely get back on track and kind of back yourself. It feeds into different aspects of business as well. If you've made mistakes in the past, you need to be able to get yourself together, get yourself back in check, and how did you even do that when you were trading? If you made a big mistake, did you have some sort of kind of recourse or a habit that you would kind of use to get back on track?
Well, I guess I've just refined my process very early on to ensure that if I follow my trading plan, big mistakes were impossible. So it's all about taking lots of small risks and managing them all like a professional. And that way you can really avoid big mistakes.
And
exactly. I mean, emotional control is the one thing to work on every single day as a trader. So I keep a diary of my emotional state and how I'm feeling when I'm placing trades, and it can be quite instructive. If you can recognize what your emotional state was when you made a trade, it can be very enlightening. I have a no high fives rule, which means if I'm feeling like high-fiving myself on how good I am at trading, it's time for me to cut risk very, very quickly. It usually means a teaching moment is just around the corner.
Where did you learn how to do this? So how to firstly create a course, and then also to kind of keep the pressure on, because I know a lot of other courses do something similar, but it's quite difficult to know how to build a community around a course. Is there some types of approaches that you've been using?
Well, I used to, when I was working at Goldman, I used to run training sessions for people on options. So, I mean, I was trading people who were kind of already up the curve and working in the finance industry, but I did have some experience in teaching. professionally, and not as a teacher, but just as a senior member of staff. And so I leveraged a lot of that, and just kind of made it simpler, and tried to throw out as much jargon as possible. Unfortunately, when you're talking about options trading, a certain amount of jargon is necessary, but making it as relatable and real world as possible. And I had kind of a test group of people who went through the course initially. I had about 50 people, and I got a lot of feedback from them, and kind of made a few alterations here and there, and just kind of shaped it a little bit to bang some of the rough edges off. So it's iterative. It's not one and done.
Of course.
But I think for the time being, where my programs are at, they're working, they're good, they're getting great feedback, and people seem very happy with them. I've really structured and engineered my course to take people who become a member through a journey where they go from a beginner to an intermediate, a beginner to a student to an intermediate to a professional trader. They are all necessary steps that you need to go through. You just don't want to get stuck at any one. And what happens to a lot of people who learn trading by reading, watching YouTube clips for free, or, reading free articles, is they get stuck. They'll get stuck at the beginner stage, or they'll get stuck at the intermediate stage, because there isn't a curriculum in place to kind of push them through to the end. And, learning trading, it's not just about learning a bunch of setups. Learning risk management is really, really important, and not just risk about when you're in a trade, but how to manage the risk of your portfolio. And then what really separates wannabes from professionals is psychology and mindset. And that's something you need to learn, I think, from somebody who's been there and done it.
Which is why you need a mentor. And actually, that was when you launched your kind of latest kind of series on YouTube, that's one thing when I commented on saying that's what's really lacking, is that extra layer of detail that you see online for trading. It's like, okay, this is like how we do it, but really getting into the super, super detail is what I haven't seen anyway, and what a lot of people that are my age, or it could be it's more difficult to find, but like the devil is in the detail with a lot of stuff. So you need to be able to get into that lower level of detail to really become experienced, and capping out in everything is really common.